Hello guys, welcome to Rise of Patience. Is it too loud? Uh, yeah, welcome to the stream. We are going to start in a few minutes. I've got Easy Kron with me.
Hey guys, let's do this. Finally, the last quarterfinals coming up, so yeah, can't wait to get into this. LAT versus PLA, the best of South America versus the best of Asia. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Yeah.
So I'm going to quickly check the audio if it works fine, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. Hey guys, we are back. The audio check is complete. We're going to start this quickly. So let's go over the players on both the sides. In PLA, we've got PLA Martinet, Mouse, Timeless, Angelo, TNO, Linky, Monkey, Penguin, and TNT. Kron, do you remember the last best of three, the three-man squad in PLA that beat AZ2? Which one was that?
Man, I was going to say, Jitin, one thing about PLA, they represent China, and China always does everything bigger than anyone else. And look at that roster. That is something amazing to see. You got Martinet, Mouse, Timeless. Oh my God, there's 9 people in that roster. But to answer your question, the main kind of players to keep an eye on here, it's definitely, I'd say it's a combination of Mouse, Timeless, Angelo, TNO, and Linky, because they're the active players at the moment. And I think, they're all really talented, but they've all got their own kind of style. I mean, Mouse is more of a boomer, I believe. Timeless is more of he's done a lot of really aggressive builds so far. Probably the same as TNO. I think TNO is fairly aggressive too. So, to be honest, and Angelo is also a decent player too. He's quite creative. So, whatever they put out, it's going to be a really good lineup. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure who they can play because there's so many different options to choose from.
Right, they've got an endless best three-man squad. It could be any 3 of these and they would still come out to be one of the best in their team. Quite exciting to see that. I've played with Angelo, Timeless, Mouse, Linky, Penguin. These are all excellent players. and they beat AZ2. If anybody has not been keeping up with the tournament, please check out that game, PLA versus AZ2. That's one of the most watched videos on this channel. It was by far, again, one of the most what do you say, the closest matchup in preliminary round of this tournament. So yeah, please check that out. And just one more thing, the PLA has the highest number of players in their roster. Do you think it has something to do with the population of China just being a representative, having more players?
I think while that would kind of make sense, and it's kind of funny to think about, because China's obviously the most populated country in the world, I believe. I believe this more came down to the rules being lost in translation. So what happened was when the PLA guys tried to sign up their teams, they read the rules and they read that it said, there was a comment in the rules about having to have, if you want to have more than 2 teams, you need to have at least 7 players on your rosters. And the idea of that was so that you could split those 7 players across 2 teams and still have 1 backup. The PLA guys misinterpreted that and thought that you need a minimum of 7 players per team, and therefore they've got 2 rosters of, I think, 7 to 9 players each. So that's, as soon as they found out, actually the PLA guys were keen to enter more teams, not less. So I have a feeling that we're going to see some strong representation from PLA, in future tournaments.
Definitely. And on the other side, we've got LAT Team 1. LAT Team 1 is the only LAT team remaining in the tournament. They registered with 4 teams, and 3 of them are out, unfortunately. So this is the last hope for Latin America. We've got Snow, Fireman, Kane, Inca, and Coco. We have seen great games by Snow, Kane, and Inca in the preliminary rounds, and I'm quite excited to see what they can do in the quarterfinals. I wonder if Snow is going to play this, because I guess he did not play for the first game. Do you remember?
Yeah, I believe Snow played. He did play in the first round, I believe, but Fireman didn't play in that particular match. And I feel like Snow and Fireman were definitely the 2 most hyped players. And it would be good to see if they can both team up together, because I feel like their strongest lineup here would be a combination of Snow, Fireman, and probably Kane. I believe Coco would definitely be in the top 3 as well if he was active, but I haven't seen him play for at least a few months. So with all due respect to Inca, I feel like Inca's probably the weaker player on this lineup, just from as far as levels of skills go. But I know Inca's got a lot of experience, and at the end of the day, it's a team game. So hopefully, if he does end up playing, his ability to play with the team and communicate well can kind of make up for perceived lower level of base level of skill.
That's right. And let's quickly look at the overall matchup so far. So here we have got EL versus TGC. They're already in the semifinals, and one of them is going to go for the grand finals. We have postponed the semifinals to next week just because of unavailability of some players. So yeah, next week's going to be big. And for today's game, PLA versus LAT Team 1, the winner is going to play for Wally in the semifinals. So that's going to be exciting as well.
Yeah, exactly. And for those that don't know, just so everyone's aware, the semi-finals will be a best of 5. So anyone that is enjoying these games so far, there'll be even more quality matches coming to you live, or shortly after the games are played next weekend, and it'll be best of 5 obviously. So even more matches to look forward to.
All right, and we've got Parabi Martinet, the Quo Fear Your Death. I remember, I think he is Toxic Loser, or I remember he did introduce himself in the last time. And we've got Serge here. Serge says Angelo is, in my opinion, the weakest there. I don't think so, man. I think Angelo might be able to beat Serge. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Angelo he's one of those players that he's really, really solid, but then sometimes he's a bit inconsistent. He'll have really good games one time, and then the next game he plays, he'll kind of stuff up or lose his army and be a bit of the weak link. But that's not saying he's a weak player by any means. He's really, really strong. But these PLA guys are very, very consistent. I feel like Timeless is really consistent. Timeless always puts in really strong performances game in, game out. Mouse is always reliable as well. Whereas maybe that's the case. You could say Angelo is a little bit more inconsistent, but that's just in comparison to his teammates.
All right, yeah, maybe maybe I could do a best of 5 or best of 3 challenge, and between Angelo and Serge. If Angelo is watching this, man, you've got a challenger. Yeah, that'll be fun to watch.
Oh, that would be a good game. We'll have to do that as a best of 3, best of 5 series, which you've been doing those series lately on the channel. So make sure you check them out if you're missing your Nomadium fix while we're waiting on these tournament games. And can I just ask, for anyone who's watching right now, we've already got a great kind of set of people tuning in. We've got 11 people watching. The only ask I've got is, I don't think we can actually start this cast until we get to 15. So if you want to speed up the process of us starting the cast, if you can just copy the link in YouTube, or if you're on your iPad or iPhone, just go to the YouTube app, go share link, and just paste it to 1 or 2 people that would be keen to watch this. They're just not aware that it's going live right now, so we can get the viewership up to 15, and then I think we can kick off.
Oh yeah, definitely. We've got 11 or 12 already watching, so it's just 3 or 4 more people.
Yeah, exactly. It won't be far away, and yeah, I'm already in the game, ready to go. So, guys, you can help speed this up. That'd be great.
All right.
And
yeah, please continue.
Oh, sorry, you go. No, all good.
Okay, so I want to give a special thanks to Alan Killer's dad. He's the one who proposed that we make a professional roster like this one and make our stream much more cleaner. So yeah, big thanks to him. If he's watching this, we owe you one, man. And yeah, he didn't charge anything. He just did it for the community. So a really great job. I also wanted to tell you people that the channel is accepting donations right now. We received 2 yesterday, which I'm really proud of at the moment. And if you want to donate, go to the description. There is a link right there. Under the there's a link right there. You can click on that, and it'll allow you to donate. This is right here. If you're on the stream, you can watch that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think at the end of the day, obviously myself included, but we all really appreciate all the effort you've put into, not just this tournament, but all the games you've been uploading and commenting, Jitin. So I figured out that at the moment you've got a donation total of approximately $15, so at least in the last few days.
Oh yeah,
divided by, and I think it only took you about 100 hours of commentating to get that $15. So that works out to be about 10 cents per hour. So,
oh yeah, that's that's the lowest pay wage in the world. But I think we'll get there. We'll get there.
Exactly, but that's definitely a good way to show a bit of appreciation. Obviously, at this stage, it's relatively early days, but yeah, I think if you've got a few dollars to spare and you're enjoying the content, just throw a few dollars into that donation bin, and that directly supports Jitin, who's putting a lot of effort into all this content that we're doing. So
and yeah, please check out Kron's Twitch channel as well. He's been live casting. He was live casting a lot before. I think he has just stopped, but please support his channel. And Kron, do you feel like you should be? I think you should be doing more live games.
Oh yeah, I think look, I love playing live games, and I was streaming a bit, but to be honest, personally, I've been going through a bit of a form slump these last few days. So I think in Rise of Nations, sometimes you play with the confidence of your last game, and yeah, I'll definitely get some live streaming going again soon. Just getting my internet upgraded, so yeah, make sure you check out Twitch if you want to watch some Rise of Nations, or if there's any Rocket League players out there as well. Occasionally I might throw some Rocket League on as well. So
oh yeah, actually I'm going to start Rocket League streaming as well. Kron, maybe we should do a 2 versus 2 in there. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll definitely have to get some Rocket League on. But I know we don't want to talk too much about Rocket League, given everyone here right now are absolute diehard Rise of Nations fans, or at least I hope they are. Right. Even if you're not, though, even if you're a casual Rise of Nations fan, that's what it's all about. It's all about trying to, talk about the game that we love so much and have so much passion for. And oh, I can hear a bit of feedback there, but it sounds like the audio is working okay.
Yeah, it is.
But obviously, anyone that wants to check out both Rise of Nations, I'm sure we'll sneak in some Rocket League at some point.
All right.
But for now,
we've got 14 viewers, so we're just waiting for one more. Meanwhile, anybody who is here and who would like to take some time to go and check out Easy Kron's Twitch channel, I'll quickly show you his channel. So it just makes it easy to follow him. So this is Kron's Twitch, and if you would like to follow him, please do that. He's got 29 followers already. So yeah, please check it out.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's twitch.tv/EasyCronHD. EZY Cron HD.
All right, we are at 15. So guess that's a target. We can begin now.
Awesome, let's do it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everyone sharing the link, and yeah, we've hit our mark. So let's get stuck in, and yeah, a good game, a good best of 3 series ahead of us.
All right. So I'm at the game 1 in time point 1 second.
Yep. Okay. I'm also at 0.000. So I'll press play, and then you press play shortly after.
All right.
Alrighty. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's go.
Okay. This is a Sahara match, and looks like you were observing this game.
Yeah. Look, there might have. Just to fill everyone in, this game was actually played about a week ago, and then the series was called off after that, and the most recent matches were just played this weekend. So to be honest, I kind of forget what happened, but so I'm gonna cast this as if it was purely the first time I've seen it in my life.
That's awesome, man. That's how you should be casting. So here, this Sahara match. So we should be expecting a lot of aggression in the early game. Luckily, So it's quite interesting. Nobody is fighting for the center. This is maybe one of the few times that we ever see that in Sahara.
Yeah, I think there's normally in a team game, like probably in game theory, it's ideal for one person to walk towards the center and just take that sacrifice of building their city late, just to secure those trees and really lock down that center of the map. But I mean, at the same time, it's a trade-off. I mean, if you build straight away, you're a lot faster than someone who spends 30 seconds or a minute walking all that way. So both players just opting for the conservative choice here and just going, plonking their city down as soon as they can.
That's right. And let's quickly look at the team players. So you've got Mouse, Linky, and Timeless. I do not recall if Linky played against AZ2. Do you remember that?
I don't believe Linky did, no. So I think this is the first time we've seen Linky play in this tournament. And for those that don't know, Linky has probably been one of the hottest players in form to play Nomad in the last probably few months. Standard as well, but just a crazy skilled player. And I think Linky kind of came out of nowhere. So I'm pretty excited to see how Linky goes. But yeah, definitely their roster's definitely been boosted by having Linky play.
Oh yeah, I mean Angelo and Linky. I'm not sure who would be a better player out of those two, but I guess it doesn't matter. They're very close in skills. And we have seen Mouse and Timeless play against AZ2 in the preliminary rounds, and these guys are awesome. So I think they've got a really nice 3-man squad here.
Yeah, Timeless is always really solid. Mouse is Mouse. We saw how well Mouse played in that game in the initial round. So it goes without saying that, they've definitely got a really strong lineup here. They don't even have TNO playing, and TNO is also one of their best players. So
I feel
it's kind of crazy.
I feel PLA could have easily got themselves a third team, and both of them might be in quarterfinals. Looking at the skills of these players, easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if we look at the LAT team here, so we've got Fireman, Inca, and Kane. And I guess the biggest standout here is that there's no LAT Snow playing in this match. And I guess, that's probably a little bit of a weakness, I guess, when you compare it to their potential best lineup. You've got Inca playing there instead of Snow. And I guess, as I said in the pre-match kind of show, Inca's definitely not on the same level as far as, a player that you'd be scared of playing against.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, and Snow is easily their top player. I mean, if not their best, one of the best. So I guess to make it more challenging for PLA, the roster should have been Kane, Fireman, and Inca. But let's see if these guys can still pull it off with great teamwork.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there are some advantages. I mean, Inca has got Spain here, so you've got Spain, British, and Russians for the LAT guys. On face values, having Spain and Russia is probably not the ideal set of nations, just due to how they can be a bit slow in the early game. But I mean, as far as the team environment goes, there's still a way to make the most of them. I mean, if you can get Russia to build in the right cities and get that attrition kind of blanket protection, particularly in the center of the map, and then you can get Spain to, identify all the res, raid them and get all the best res yourself, it really does add up to the team. So it might not mean there's some crazy rush coming from the LAT guys, but if they can kind of defend their res, get some good positioning for their cities, they can definitely still line up in a good spot here.
Oh yeah, and I love to have a Spanish player in my team just because of all the all the time we can save in looking for rare resources. We already know where we have to raid, so it makes life so much easier. And just want to point out, Fireman is really ahead of his teammates. He's already getting market while the other two are just researching commerce. And he's British, so it's not like he has any particular advantage. He must have done a great job at scouting.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, Fireman, we haven't seen Fireman play in this tournament so far either, because he missed the first match. And I think we all thought that Kane was Fireman, but it turns out Fireman and Kane are in the same team, so that's definitely debunked as far as that theory goes. But yeah, I mean, this will be pretty exciting to see, because Fireman was hyped up as, an old school game spy player who is basically dusted off his mouse and, suited up to fight this battle for LAT, to restore, some pride to the Latin American guys after they've had a few of their teams crash out early on in the rounds. And yeah, it'd be really cool to see how he goes, because he's got British. I feel like British are a really solid, solid nation economically and with the awesome archers they get. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we'll see. We'll have to keep an eye and see how he goes.
And I guess Fireman is going in for a big surprise here. Timeless is going military 1. He will be pumping out these units soon, and Fireman is getting civic. But I feel Fireman will be able to get that city up before it's too late.
Yeah, this is going to be close, I guess, because I mean that city looks like it's in a good spot there. It looks like it's not on the same path that Timeless is going to walk down, but at the same time, I must admit it's always a bit nerve-wracking when you are trying to get your city up, and then suddenly you see a heavy infantry come in and start pounding away on it just as it's about to finish. So thankfully for Fireman's case here, he's not going to have to worry about that. But there is a heavy raid from Aztec coming down, and this is probably going to set the momentum for the game moving forward.
Oh yeah, and look at Fireman's inventory. He does not have resources to research military. He'll have to just wait and fight those light infantry with his villagers. Now I want to also point out, see, he had a nice mountain here and a chance to get cotton. All right, so he doesn't know about cotton. That's the only explanation I can see why he wouldn't build it right next to cotton.
Yeah, it looks like he's just scouted that cotton now. Slightly too late now that the city's already down. But at the same time, I don't mind his city placement there. I mean, the cotton would have been better, but I mean, he has secured off that kind of middle of the map. And I feel like the LAT guys look like they're starting to get better city placements over the guys from PLA here. They, once they're set up, they've kind of got that middle ground, and they can kind of rotate between themselves, light blue and purple, to try and help each other as they need to.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it looks like here Linky is making use of the bisons behind. So with bisons, he doesn't need a second city to max out his income for food. So he's already gone mill 1, and he is raiding that sugar, and he's actually using sugar in Inca's territory.
Yeah, that is awesome, and that's something to just point out here for anyone who's relatively new to Rise of Nations. If you are on a land map like this and you're able to get rare resources where you can get 3 sets of food, obviously that means that you don't actually need to build your well, actually, I was going to say, if you got 1 more food rare, you don't actually need to build your second city. But yeah. In this case, he is building his second city anyway, because it does set him up in a good location. And I mean, when you're French versus a nation like Spain, who are considerably slower in that early game, French are definitely a despot nation, and I wonder if Linky's going to go despot here.
Oh yeah, it looks like it, because Mouse has said that he's going to help, and PLA team told Linky kill Inca fast. That's funny. I mean, they do realize that Inca is their weak link, so it's probably much easier to get rid of him.
That's true. And I mean, if you take someone's capital, it doesn't matter if it's, you know, Boo's capital or if it's Inca's capital. They all pay the same amount. It's still 500 plus resources for everyone. So I think the smart move here is, you know, as they said, target the most likely person who you can get the capital for, because in a game of this level, if you get a cap sack, that could pretty much decide the whole match depending on how it goes.
Yeah, and I would like to point out this is a one big reason why it's quite difficult to balance out teams when there are 2 pros or let's say 1 inter player in a team. So you may say that, oh, we can split up the inters for a 3 versus 3 or 4 versus 4, but at times when the inter is so much exposed to the enemy, he can become an easy target. And he can be taken out really easily. And even though the teams were balanced initially, let's say in a regular 3 versus 3, just because the easy target gives you an extra bonus cap, bonus plunder, and you can win the game easily. So that's why it's better to have all 3 players of the same caliber, just so that you don't have to look out for anybody the whole game.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like I really like that interview that you did with Zen Mechanics. It was quite fascinating, but quite you know, insightful too, in the sense that we all want really good games, but we also want new players, and I guess you can't really have both. So I think we all need to try and do what we can to help new players learn the game. But I completely understand that, you know, we also want a fair and balanced game. So
right. It's a very difficult balance to strike.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can see that it looks like Linky is building a tower over that sugar, which is between Inca and Calais. So it looks like that's going to probably cordon off that sugar, and I can see Inca's doing the same thing, building a tower behind the sugar. It'll be interesting if both merchants are in no man's land there, or if they can still use the sugar and stay protected.
Oh yeah, no, I guess Kane just retreated. Kane is not going to use sugar. That's strange. I think he's just gonna go for something else, or I don't know. Yeah, and Serge in the chat said that Kane is Noob Cybot, and I remember Noob Cybot was a higher inter, somewhere around a higher inter, if not better than that. And he has shown promising games here in this tournament. So yeah, I'm quite excited to see what he can do in this round. He is Russia. He is going to provide some support. But Mouse is Despot, and looks like Linky will be Despot too. So it puts these guys in a very difficult situation. And you should also see that Mouse skipped science. He is going directly. He already has military too.
And you can see there's some good rating from the LAT guys here. But yeah, skipping science, that's a really bold move. I mean, I feel like skipping science is kind of an all-in build, because it's pretty tough to come back from it if you don't do a lot of damage, because you're basically putting everything else behind quite significantly. You're paying more resources for, you know, your middle 2 than you would otherwise have to. But at the same time, I feel like from Inca's point of view, what would you do if you were in Inca's position right now to try and defend?
If I was in Inca position, first thing I would be doing is getting militia. Because it's obvious. There is no second thought about it that he is getting rushed. Okay, Mouse just lost his siege because he didn't know about the city placement here, and I know that sucks.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I can feel that. I lost 2 sieges yesterday in that best of 3, or we call it best of 5 now. But yeah, that really sucked.
Yeah, definitely. Losing a siege is so expensive to replace, when, you know, metal is so precious in this early game. I mean, I remember, yeah, most games you play, you're sitting there counting your metal, waiting for, you know, get the 85 metal to build your first siege, and to lose it like that's got to be pretty devastating. But they do have a good strategy here. I mean, Despot with French and Despot with Nubians, even if it wasn't Inca here, the fact that it's a player with Spain, and, you know, you've got Russia as well defending, I feel like the PLA guys are choosing the right strategy here.
Mouse he just went on an ambush, and I guess these guys are just going to find out that red and light blue don't have anything here. Yeah, they have absolutely nothing. Oh, that ambush is going to work. And remember, Mouse lost one of his sieges. If he didn't lose one of his sieges, this city would already be down.
That was so cool to watch. I mean, the way Mouse did that, I've never seen a player have that much patience. He sat there for a good 10 seconds, just standing still, waiting for the right moment to strike, giving Linky, time to come up with his few troops he's got as well. But some really, really cerebral and smart play there by Mouse.
Oh yeah, definitely. Here is Kane trying to help him, but I guess and Red has got a lot of villagers in there. I wonder if he's going to. Why is he waiting for militia? He should have militia out already. So again, anybody watching this, anybody watching this, remember you want to get your militia out before you lose the city, because when you lose the city, of course you lose that plus 10 food wood income, but you also give some kind of capture bonus to your opponent. So that capture bonus just allows him to pump out more units and make your life harder. So if you can try to get your militia out sooner. He did have a chance, and Inca says I'm fucked, and I agree with him. He is.
Yeah, he's definitely looking like he's in trouble, and yeah, that's definitely going to pull the whole game towards this left-hand side now, because the other guys are going to need to basically try and salvage the situation and push back, the PLA guys here. Right. But I mean, Despot Nubians and Despot French, that's a tough ask. I mean, you've got healing French troops with a Despot with no ability to feel attrition. It's a really tough situation they're in right now.
All right, and Fireman here, he is being raided by Timeless, so there is no way he can run away to help, and he's too far away to help anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Fireman's economy is actually really strong right now. He's got 6 rare resources, 146, 146, 122 for food, wood, and metal. So I think this might be a situation where, Fireman might feel like, oh, hey, guys, just hold it together, because I'm probably going to win in the long run here based on my economy. But yeah, it's going to be tough now, because he's going to have to either try and win really fast or come over and try and help out Inca to stay alive.
Right, and yeah, Inca needs to survive. He is not deleting his capital Senate either. That's a big mistake. I know it's already too late for him, but still, just to have some kind of chance in case Kane pulls something through. Well, both of these guys are all in here, Mouse and Linky. They both got a fantastic army, despots. Yeah, there's a very little chance that Inca is going to survive this. Inca needs to pump out as many villagers as he can and turn them all into militia. Meanwhile, on the other side, Timeless is going on an offense. He does not want Fireman to interfere. He's doing a great job at it too. Yeah,
great play there by Timeless. I mean, the most important thing Timeless can do right now is just keep his men pinned to that side of the map. And he knows that by sieging that city, he can't, Fireman can't possibly go to the other side of the map, because he's going to lose everything he's got too. And I would like to see if Linky pulls all his militia here, because, once they get that capital, it's pretty much GG. But, it might not be necessary, to be honest.
That's right. No militia yet. No militia yet. Inca is making the same mistake again. Yeah, he just got militia, but I think they could have come a lot sooner. He has got 5 in the tower. Yep, he's going to turn them into militia too. This is all in by Inca. If he survives this, that means 10 more minutes for his team. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating. 5 more minutes for his team. But if he doesn't survive, that's the end.
Yeah, I mean, trying to avoid this cap sack's the most important thing, but there's endless troops here, and the problem is they're not just endless troops, but they're endless troops that heal for the French player at least.
Yep, and on the other side, Timeless took the Fireman city for a moment. Fireman is going to get it back, but it's still, yep, he is getting it back, but all right, not bad, because if he got that city back, now Aztecs would completely rely on successful battles to survive. Now he is going to be pushed back, because he got Despot, so he's not going to have an excellent economy like Fireman. So maybe in the late run, if this keeps up, Fireman can win on his side.
Wow, it looks like Looks like Inca has somehow held here. I don't believe they got the cap sack.
All right,
Unless I missed it.
great job by Inca here. And remember, these guys are still without signs, both Linky and Mouse. Although that's not going to make much of a difference at this point, but just something.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's
Kane is using his light cavalries to take out some catapults.
Oh wow, good play there. I mean, taking out those catapults, definitely the best thing you can do when you're trying to slow down an offense, especially when you catch them out of position. But yeah, I mean, well done actually. I probably underestimated their defense there, but you know, great defense by Kane and Inca. That was not an easy attack to hold off. And I just wonder if, you know, the PLA guys got a little bit, you know, cocky there and thought, we've just got so many troops, who cares, just send them all in. And then, yeah, probably lost a lot more than they probably needed to.
That's right. And here, I guess Mouse is retreating. He's got a nice army there in the another city. And Timeless just said, do not let 92 help them. Oh my god, Timeless is there with... Oh, Timeless is there with everything
wow.
He got militia there. And I guess...
Huge militia pool.
That's huge militia pool.
And that's... And I mean, you know, Purple's pulling his own militia, but when it's militia versus militia and archers behind them, that's a tough fight to win. And wow, I can't believe this. I mean, I'm kind of impressed by Timeless. This is a guy who is not afraid of doing anything in this game. He is absolutely pressing the all-in button here, just going for it. And it's paying off so far. It looks like Fireman's in trouble.
Oh yeah, and Fireman has just reached his commerce too. He can sell all that excess metal and use that to spawn more units, but he is not doing that. I'm so itching to press that sell metal button.
I mean, he does have a lot of metal, so he could get some really good gold for that. But yeah, I guess these guys, I'm sure they feel pretty confident though. I can just see that Mouse just said in the chat that he's going to age in about 5 minutes. So, I mean, once they age to age 3, that's going to be really tough to hold.
That's right. And Fireman here, I don't think Fireman was expecting to be taken down. That was a surprise for him. And meanwhile, Lestex is going to get all that plunder from both of these barracks. He already killed so many units, so I guess he's fine on his own. It looks like it's a clean victory for these guys. I mean, unless Kane has something hidden in his up his sleeve, there is no way I can see them come back.
Yeah, this is absolutely over for the LAT guys. I mean, they've got, you know, Aztecs is definitely taking out these barracks at Fireman's base. Losing those racks is really going to set him back even further. And yeah, Aztecs are one of those nations that, you know, every kill they're getting so much plunder. They're just getting stronger and stronger. So, yeah, look, overall, you know, great play by PLA. Really impressive by Timeless here. I think that was probably the most straight up even matchup between, you know, Aztecs and British. Whereas I feel like, you know, even though Inca did really well to hold his capital at first, just to be honest, they were outplayed by PLA. Both going despot, both targeting it. You know, Russia was kind of out of position.
Everybody in the PLA team got that spot. Yep, that was nice. Making sure that nobody helps their teammates. Just keep mounting pressure. That was great.
Yeah, I would love to know what the word for despot is in Chinese, because I can just imagine these guys on the chat just yelling out whatever the word is. Despot.
Yeah, I don't think they can do that. Linky, Linky is Chinese, Mouse is Chinese, Timeless is American. But I also want to give credit to Inca for holding up so well, because of course if in case, let's say, Fireman was winning on the other side, Inca is doing really well to buy him some time, and that's all you need from your teammates.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not easy to hold against a despot French and a despot Nubians. Doesn't matter how good you are. This is definitely a scary combo to come up against, and he's played really well as Spain. I mean, some tips he could have done, as you said earlier, is perhaps getting those militia out of the city and sitting behind the city before, you know, you lose the HP. But aside from that, you know, it's a tough spot to be in. I'll be honest. I think a lot of us would probably be in Inca's position here, would probably die as well. So
oh yeah, definitely.
it's
I don't think there's coming back from Inca's position, unless your ally is super booming and he has enough units to just hold on for 5-10 minutes. But this was a clean sweep. There was no doubt at any moment that Black would lose this. PLA did an amazing job, especially, I mean, the teamwork of these guys was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think Mouse really led the way there. He was really fast. You could tell that when he first attacked and did that ambush, his army size was probably 2 or 3 times as big as anyone else in the entire match. And I believe a big help would have been, I mean, you can see the diamonds on the edge of Nubian's base there. So he was getting in 30 gold, you know, just from that diamonds alone. And he can obviously, as Nubian, spend that to buy whatever he needs to buy. So some really good res for Nubians there, but yeah, great play by Mouse. Going Despot is definitely not a conservative move, but they just went for it, and yeah, definitely paid off.
I guess Mouse was especially lucky. Of course, we have seen that Mouse was the fastest player to get up to classical age and have a military too. But he was really lucky with the rare resources. Look at that, bison, peacocks here, diamonds, dye. He had silk and wine there, so he had everything he needed. I think he even had salt at the back, but he didn't use that though. But anyway, that was an overpowered combination for Mouse. So I no wonder he was doing so well on his side. But I'd have to give it to Timeless. That was amazing. I would not have expected that.
Yeah, I feel like Timeless. You know, Fireman was looking really good. He had an awesome economy at, you know, early in the game, and Timeless kind of just turned around and said, "Hey, Fireman, I don't care. I'm going to put out your own fire here," and just sent all his militia in, just like some crazy Chinese guy. And yeah, somehow it worked, and he basically took out LAT's best player when he probably didn't even need to. All he needed to do was die slowly, and he decided to go on the offensive instead. So that's what you call bloody ballsy play right there. But yeah, it obviously worked out, and yeah, well done, Timeless. That was probably, I'd probably give, who would you give MVP to in this match? If you had to pick someone.
I don't know. It's very difficult. Both like green, white, blue. They were both like all three of these were on top all the time.
Yeah, I think maybe to be diplomatic, we'll just say that PLA, you know, get team of the match for this particular game, and then we'll move. That way we don't have to choose anyone, and yeah, we'll move on to the next game in game 2.
In LAT's defense, I would also like to point out that these guys had literally 0 wealth rares. Absolutely.
Yeah,
nothing.
I mean,
they had 1 tobacco. I don't know if they were using it or not, but absolutely nothing. And wealth is very important in the initial game. So yeah, these guys were at a back foot there as well. Furs, horses, papyrus are not bad, but you still need wealth to defend against such a kind of rush.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just I guess as a tip for anyone who's watching, if you had to say in the early game you didn't identify too many wealth rares, what do you think is the base level of wealth income you think you need just to sustain yourself and, you know, stay in the match? For example, let's say you've only got 1 wealth rare in this case for the LAT guys. Would you advocate building a market, or?
Yeah, let us know if you are in the chat. What would you think? So according to Rise of Nations, PLA Linky was the most valued player from their team, and it looks like AZ Kron was the most valued player in LAT. Congratulations.
Wow, I'm proud of myself. Look, it wasn't easy, but no, I don't think probably not my best game. No, I'm just kidding. That was definitely Inca, who I was spectating there at the time. But no, that was yeah, quite the game there. And, you know, to be fair to the LAT guys, they didn't get the best draw, and also they were just trumped by strategy there by PLA. Right. So GG to PLA. Well played. That was a pretty scary first game. I'm sure anyone who's watching this, especially the Fall Valley guys who are probably tuning in, trying to, you know, scout out their opponents and get an idea of what to expect, will be thinking, geez, Timeless, Linky and Mouse, that's looking like a pretty deadly combo to come up against.
That's right. And just before we exit, look at the economy score for the PLA team. They've got wealth. They have got higher wealth, maybe double the average wealth of than LAT. So yeah, it does matter. Wealth matters a lot. It allows you to make archers and heavy cavalry. That's very important.
Oh, yeah, it's extremely important. I mean, the thing with wealth too is that if you get a wealth rare early on, that income lets you build more merchants, which means you can get 5 merchants or 6 merchants or 7 merchants instead of being limited to just a maximum of 4 if you can't get any. So it has a kind of multiplier effect in that early game. And if you can get diamonds, then diamonds is equivalent to 3, you know, for Nubians at least, it's equivalent to 3 individual wealth rares for someone else. So yeah, it's things like that that can make a huge difference. And obviously if you pair it with enough wood plus wealth equals merchants. So the more merchants you get, the more likely you are to win in the long game.
That's right. So yeah, let's go to the second game.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so load it up.
All right, guys, we've updated the scorecard. We've got PLA as 1, LAT as 0. And this seems like a watering hole. We have seen some crazy matchups on watering hole. They're trying to balance both water and land. Yeah, that's scary sometimes. It can also be mind-wrecking.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, maybe I'm sick and twisted here, but I love watching games on watering hole. I just think it's such a cool map. I know it tends to have some really weird games, and sometimes it can be a bit imbalanced too with you know, copper or with citrus, but I just think it's so unique. Sometimes you see some really wild games, so can't wait to see what happens here.
That's right. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing to watch watering holes. It's just not great to play this. I would love to watch it. It's like mixed martial arts. Great to watch, but I don't think I would like to be there fighting.
Oh, exactly. I mean, let's let these guys duke it out. We can sit back and, you know, eat our popcorn and just and see what happens, and let them go through all the pain for our entertainment and satisfaction. All
right, and in the chat, Danius says Forwali is overrated. Isn't he? Is in Forwali too? We've got Boo, Issue S, and Surge in the chat as well. So yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Stay there. We're having a nice game. Just pointing out, red and green have got their cities so close. This is unusual.
Yeah, this is a bit unusual. I mean, normally when you're allies, you like to spread out a bit because you get more map control, and you know there's less competition for the same set of woodcutters or the same resources. But it looks like they've escaped here okay because they've both got a decent amount of wood next to them that they don't need to fight over. And yeah, that could have definitely not worked out so well, but it looks like they'll be okay here.
But yeah, this is going to hurt Inca the most, because imagine if Kane had built on a little farther. That way he could have given more rare resources for Inca to use.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's probably, I don't know, maybe a miscommunication or maybe inexperience there, but yeah, early on, you know, those decisions as soon as you start the game where you build your first city can be critical for the whole match. And you know, that was probably a bit of a blunder there, but not a big one. But yeah, they definitely could have improved. And,
yeah, they could have.
And Jiten, I'm just noticing a big kind of storyline of this match could perhaps be about this citrus here. So it hasn't been scouted yet, but it's to the right hand side of Blue's base here, Fireman's base. And it looks like it's kind of in no man's land at the moment. But
yeah, it's probably exactly in the center of between Timeless and Fireman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who secures that, because it looks like the LAT guys, if they build their cities in the right positions, should be able to secure it. But if the PLA guys recognize and scout that citrus early on, they could make a concerted effort to, you know, go Civic really quickly and possibly do a Civic 1, Civic 2 on top of your ally city and basically call down that off. And if they can, that'll put them in a really good spot, because they've also got silver there. And silver and citrus would be some great res to secure in this early game.
Oh yeah, and yeah, as you said, Civic 1 and Civic 2. I get Inca would have a better chance of getting Civic 2 and getting the city if he wants to. because he's got, of course, he's Nubians and he's got Amber there, so he can easily purchase food and get his civic faster.
Yeah, I mean, getting Amber as Nubians, it's like, it seems like every nation has a rare that really suits them well. And I mean, for British, that would be Obsidian, and for Nubians, it's definitely Amber, because they can buy and sell things already really cheap, and that just makes it even cheaper and even easier to trade.
Oh yeah, and let's quickly look at the nations. On this side, Kane is British. We've got Inca as Nubians and Fireman as Iroquois. What do you think about these matchups? I feel all three nations are really good, and they're going to be holding up really well. They might even kill the other side.
Yeah, I really like these nations too. I mean, British are an awesome nation. They're so good. They're so well rounded. They're great economically. They're great, attacking as well. And you can go despot pretty much without any penalty, or a very, very minor penalty compared to the other nations. And then, Nubians, probably this isn't the best map normally for Nubians, but they've got some decent rares, and you should be able to take advantage of at least, that tobacco, horses, amber, and potentially the citrus and maybe the silver too. So, Inca can't be too unhappy with the nation he's got here as well. And Iroquois are definitely my favorite nation. They're so good, they're so fast. In the hands of a good player, they can pretty much turn the entire match just with their raids and with their ability to kind of defend and not be scouted. So, yeah, I think LAT can say they've definitely got decent nations here, and there'll be no complaints from a balance point of view.
Oh yeah, right. I really like their nations. Iroquois, as you were playing with Iroquois yesterday, and I remember you were doing such a nice job. Okay, just hold on. I think I've got a $5 donation from Octave. If I don't know if you're watching Octave, thanks for that, and I really appreciate it. Please tell us in the chat. The spelling of Octave was weird. He doesn't put an E in his name, does he?
Normally, I don't think he does put an E, but maybe Octave is short for Octave. I'm not sure. But yeah, it must have been Ind Octave, who is showing some love for the stream and for the support. So yeah, but hats off. Thank you very much, Octave.
Yeah, guys. So yeah, the channel is accepting donations. If you like the work, if you want more content to be pumped out, please support this channel. You can donate anywhere between $2 or more, $2 to more, and I would really appreciate it. So continue.
We can, just so that the viewers can see this. We can see that Linky is putting down a city next to that citrus right now, and I guess what I talked about early on has kind of played out here. The PLA guys have recognized that citrus is there, and basically Timeless's city has allowed Linky to build right on top of that citrus, and that's going to put them in an awesome position as far as this long-term water battle in the middle goes.
Oh yeah, definitely, and Linky, I mean, yeah, whatever you were saying, I guess Linky had a foresight. He heard it and he did exactly the same. Now these guys are going to hold silver and citrus, which is quite cool. Yeah,
silver and citrus, they're kind of opposite rares. I mean, citrus is great for sea and silver is great for aging fast, but you put them together. I mean, if they can take the middle of the pond and get these fish up and running for the PLA guys, they're going to be in a great position. That's normally how this map tends to play out, is that, whoever wins water is in a huge, strong position, and therefore the other team either goes to try and fight back on the water, or they go for an all-in land attack, and then they either win the game from the land attack, or they lose, and then they usually tap out and GG.
That's right. Here, Fireman has gone for a military 1 order. He has got his eco up to almost 100, so that's not a problem. And here it looks like Timeless is going to be researching military very soon. He's got the resources, but this is a heavy raid for Fireman. I guess he thinks of this as a time for revenge for what happened to him in the last game.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely revenge, I think, is an element here. And I really like this play by Fireman. I mean, he's making the most of Iroquois. They're so good at raiding. It's really, really tough to defend against. And I mean, it looks like Timeless is doing a decent job here with trying to kick down those archers. But at the same time, yeah, it's not easy to defend against. There's kind of a case of trying to minimize how much damage they do as opposed to stopping it completely.
That's right, and looks like Fireman is just not letting up. He has sent, I guess, 5-6 units so far. So there's one unit everywhere, such that there's just no place left for Timeless to build his barracks. But I guess Linky here is going to build his barracks and help him out.
Yeah, this is crazy. He had 7 units built at one point. It looks like he lost a unit there, but 6 units roaming around, just harassing Timeless here. And Timeless doesn't have a great start here. He only had 50 wood in that initial woodcutter camp, and he's got no wood income coming in now, except for he's got 30 wood coming in. So meanwhile, obviously Fireman's got 100. So Fireman is definitely winning this one-on-one on the left-hand side.
Oh yeah, and just pointing out, PLA has 2 nations that can make elephants, so a long game will eventually favor them. Although Chinese is a bit not that strong, maybe the least strong nation in this matchup. And yeah, it looks like here Linky and Mouse are completely involved in the water battle. Since Mouse just reached classical, that means he can make fire ships now, and he is making fire ships. So the moment you reach classical, the fire ships make all the difference in the world, because they are so much cheaper and they help you take down those expensive heavy ships.
Yeah, very nice micro there by Linky too. I mean, making sure that you control those fire ships properly and don't let them explode on fishing ships or on the light ships, because they basically don't do anything if you explode them against the wrong things. You want to make sure they hit the triarmies, and that's exactly what he did. And yeah, look, that's going to set them in great position to take this pond and get all that really juicy fish and wealth income from it.
Oh yeah, and it looks like he is doing a great job. Mouse is doing a great job pushing the water. They are already way past the middle line, so yeah, they are dominating on water, and no doubt that citrus is helping them.
Yeah, and it looks like the citrus was raided there for a second. There is a tower protecting the citrus, but I can see that Purple still has his merchant sitting inside that tower. So, but then again, Purple hasn't got any ships out fighting in the middle because Purple's kind of still trying to recover economically. But you can see that Mouse and Linky are really starting to really turn on the heat as far as this pond in the middle goes.
Oh yep, and here it looks like Fireman is not going to let this game go on for too long. He has skipped both Civic and Science. He's got a stable there. So looks like we are going to see quite an aggression from his side.
Yeah, that's pretty unique. I've never really seen this before. But going age 2 and just getting that stable up, and I'm guessing he's going to try and get mill 2 or get some light horses out to try and harass even further. Because I know when you're trying to defend against age 1 units, with age 1 units against horses, it becomes really, really tricky, because heavy infantry are the only thing that can really stop horses, and they're so slow that it just becomes painful sometimes.
Oh yeah. Here, look at Fireman. He is already going for aggression, but Timeless has a tower there, so no, not much going to be achieved there. Meanwhile, here Mouse seems to be in a good position. He has got his senator. I guess his idea is to get a 3rd city near wool, so he can control that wool and also keep the wood with him.
Yeah, it looks like that'll be the case. I mean, Mouse did build backwards here to make sure he got that wood patch to the right hand side of his base. But yeah, I mean, let's just have a quick look at the economies here. So we've got, looks like a fairly even stead here. I think I'd say the LAT guys are actually doing quite well. As far as they seem to have a pretty good position in this game so far.
Oh yeah, they do, and they've got two or three fishing spots secured for them. Meanwhile, the PLA guys have got 4 spots, so not much of a difference. And I guess the most obvious choice in this case is to double Timeless, since he has been rated so much. So do you think we're gonna see that very soon?
Yeah, I think we might see that for sure. There could be, it's going to transition into the LAN game soon, and I think it'll be interesting to see when that happens and whether the LAT guys go for a big land attack, whether the PLA guys try and double red perhaps, or what light blue does with his army. He's starting to mass up units on the left hand side here, so it looks like it will kind of turn into 3 separate 1v1s, and just with a massive skirmish in the middle of the map, obviously in the pond here. But the LAT guys are playing pretty impressively. I mean, Inca's doing a great job. He's pouring out a lot of ships, and it looks like the LAT guys probably have the pond at this point in time.
I guess it's still 50-50, or maybe, yeah, it's about 50-50. PLA has got 4 spots and LATs have got 3. So maybe they'll just agree to this for now and not fight it out later. But that's a bad engagement from Inca.
Exactly.
He is going to lose some of his heavy infantry. And he did not.
That's right.
He did not kill a single merchant there. No, he just saved his infantry. But that was a waste of time. Here for firemen, I would suggest firemen to get the second military and start attacking before Timeless has any chance to bump out elephants. Once those elephants come in, it's going to be really difficult. Here, just look at Timeless, the eco. I wonder why does he have so much wealth and wood in there? He doesn't seem to be playing. I mean, this replay looks like it's broken from Timeless side. He's not doing anything. He's got so much of stuff in his inventory.
Yeah, it does look a bit broken. Maybe he was just a bit upset with how badly he got raided, that he needed to take a 5-minute break during the game and just go away, wash his face with cold water, and then come back and start again. But more likely, this replay might be bugged as well. We'll have to find out soon. But yeah, it doesn't look great for Timeless right now.
Right here, Mouse's senator has been sitting there for as long as I can remember. And yeah, something's wrong. Timeless has got his villagers outside Lucknow. They're not doing anything. It looks like this replay. I've not seen bugged replay since a long time. Could this be? I don't know.
Yeah,
why
it could be. I mean, yeah, maybe you can still see a lot of ships being created in the middle here. A lot of raiding going on. Maybe Mouse could let us know. I can see in the chat Mouse is saying the replay might have broken after the Colossus was built.
So I hope we'll be in a position to. So Mouse, don't ruin it for us, but just tell us what did this game have a definite result? Like, did somebody win or lose in this game? Don't tell us who.
Yeah, because I mean, watching this up to the point where it seems to have maybe bugged or the replay's broken, it seemed like it was fairly evenly matched. I mean, they both had about 50% control of the middle of the map, both had good nations, and more importantly, Fireman was really dominating against Timeless here.
Oh yep, he was, and I think it has broken. The Colossus completed, and my game has got stuck.
Yeah, okay, I'm not far away, so my game's probably about to crash too.
Yep, 1702. Mouse, can you let us know if this game, what happened in this game?
Yeah, wow, and just when it crashed, I mean, not that this means necessarily everything, but the scores for the two teams, you had 1,527 for PLA versus 1,386 for LAT. So the PLA guys had a higher score, but that's pretty close, to be honest, in scores, and that doesn't necessarily...
If this was a drop and we were asked to review this, I wouldn't say there's any definite winner. But I guess the game actually went on for long. So, Mouse, we are completely dependent on you for this game. Another way to look at it is we can check out the third replay. If the third replay is actually a different game, that means either this was scraped or LAT1. If there is no third replay, then yeah, probably PLA PLA won this. So let's check that out.
Yeah, we might have to, but hopefully Mouse can. Oh, here we go. So Mouse has said in the chat. He said, "Linky and me have killed in the sea." Wow, I didn't know Mouse was a poet, and he didn't know it. But that was pretty cool. And Linky and Timeless killed that side. Oh wow. Okay, this is kind of cool. It's a bit of a shame that the replay didn't work. This would have been really cool to have cast it. But it sounds like, okay, we almost need Mouse to come on for a post-match interview, I feel, just to explain what exactly did happen.
Yeah, this is the kind of interview that we need. We definitely need. It's no more.
Yeah, like yeah. We're not doing a recap. We're not getting the players' thoughts. We literally need you to tell us all what happened, because we can't view the replay to watch it. So, but I guess this is first things first. Officially, congratulations to PLA. It sounds like they've won their match 2-0 against a tough LAT team here. Obviously, this game's left us hanging a bit, but by the sounds of it, the PLA guys managed to come through. Mao said in the chat, he said, "Linky is a genius that get the citrus." See, it's still rhyming. He's still a poet. Yeah. And I think, that probably played out in the long run, I guess, here. Perhaps PLA secured the water, and once they got that water in the middle, they were able to, go on there and get that gold, and then go on from there to basically win the game in the long run. But I would be really interested to see an interview with, the PLA guys to explain what happened, especially with Timeless. Seemed like Timeless was on the back foot there and probably was going to lose in the long run if he didn't get saved by one of his teammates.
Oh yeah, that's right. So anyway, Mouse, if you are coming for a post-game interview, please let us know. Message one of us on this team, and we can patch you up on Skype. Meanwhile, Boo is asking when are L playing. Boo, we have postponed the semifinals for the next week just because it wasn't feasible. TGZ did not have all their players, and the Forvali versus PLA could not take place today either. So since one of the games is going to be postponed anyway, so we'll just have both the games postponed. Please make sure you have all your players next week, no later than Saturday. We want to have the games completed on Saturday so they can be cast either on the same day or at most Sunday. And the later week is going to be grand finals.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, whilst ideally we would have liked to have done the semi-finals this weekend, just circumstances like this do happen, and we understand that everyone's trying their best to be patient and to give everyone, including the other teams where they need to, due to unforeseen circumstances, the best chance of showing some good games for the community and making sure that whoever wins the tournament can proudly say, I've beaten the best, and here are the games to prove it. So really appreciate everyone with good sportsmanship, being really patient with this, and definitely looking forward to some awesome semi-finals coming up.
Yeah, and we got Drads in the chat. Drads, we did have dates for the quarterfinals and the preliminary rounds, but so far for the semifinals the dates are not there. I assume it has to be somewhere on Saturday. So yeah, just keep watching the stream. There's a page of Facebook page on RiseOfPatience. You can follow that. There's also a Discord server where I sometimes post the schedules of the of our broadcasts. So yeah, if you follow them, you will probably not miss these broadcasts. And Dane is rooting for PLA, man. That's nice sportsmanship. Always root for your opponent.
Wow. Well, I must admit, I mean, that's going to be a great matchup. So PLA versus Forvali in the semi-finals. And if PLA put out a team such as the lineup they put out today, I do feel like it's a different kind of prospect, because Forvali is obviously on a different level compared to this LAT team that came out tonight. Mm-hmm. But having said that, PLA guys, they were pretty damn scary in that first match. That wasn't even close. And I feel like this is going to come down to the wire. I mean, Forvali have been really strong so far. On paper, they've probably got one of the most formidable teams to ever be formed in Rise of Nations history. But PLA, man, they train against each other in China, and I mean they're all really, really solid players too.
Oh so, yeah, it's going to be exciting. And I'm also waiting for EL versus TGC, where TGC has their best squad, and what we saw against the AZ1, I mean, their triples were quite outstanding. I want to see them once again if TGC can pull those triples against EL as well.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if the EL guys have kind of watched those videos and are trying to make notes and just saying, hey, oh geez, we're gonna have to be careful against these triples here. You know, what are the early warning signs just in case? But having said that, you know, TGZ might kind of build up this hype that they're going to do with these triples and then sit back and boom, and then crush them in the late game. Because Immaculate, for example, is one of those players that can just, you know, get to age 4, get to age 5, much quicker than his opponents can. So it's going to be fascinating. And honestly, I think it'll be really close. I mean, some people probably from the beginning of this tournament have always thought EL will be favourites to march all the way to the grand final, but this TGZ team is looking really strong.
Oh yeah, definitely. So AZ, by the way, do you remember we had a forecast of the top 4 teams in this tournament? So let's look at that. Are these the same top 4 teams that are still there?
Well, I think it looks fairly accurate. The only team that wasn't in that top 4 was AZ1, and you can see that they were knocked out in that 2-1 game in the quarterfinals. And that was when TGZ used some really intelligent triples there to basically, you know, really smart play to basically sucker punch AZ when AZ were trying to boom, and they all went despot, or, you know, I think it was that Lakota game at the end, and played really well. So overall, maybe, who knows, TGZ could make an argument to say maybe they deserve the top 4 seed. But I mean, the way it played out was really close, and I feel like, you know, we probably can sit back and say, yeah, these seedings were fairly accurate.
Yeah, we were 75% accurate, and that's all as accurate as we should be.
Yeah, exactly. It's you can't, you know, if everything just happened according to who's the best seed, then no one would tune in and watch the games because it would be a foregone conclusion. So it's good to see that we were mostly on the money, but yeah, obviously some not really an upset, but, you know, some different kind of teams that have gone through there.
That's right. And one more thing I want to point out, we will also have a losers finale, which is going to be between the loser between ELTGZ and Forwali PLA. So that the winner of that bracket will be our 3rd position, and we're going to have this losers finale sooner than the grand finale. So yeah, please check out for that. That's going to be, I think we could keep that a best of 5 instead of best of 7.
Yeah, it definitely won't be a best of 7, but I think best of 5 would be good for the 3rd place match. And I mean, most times, you know, for anyone who watches, say, the FIFA World Cup, the 3rd place match is often, you know, the match that no one really cares about because both teams have just been eliminated from the semi-finals and they're feeling a bit down. But this 3rd place match, whoever is there, I'm sure they'll want to be in the grand final, but there's heaps to play for because there's no prize money given out to 4th place. So there's basically money on the line for that 3rd place match, as well as obviously 1st and 2nd. So I think that's going to be a cracker of a game. And, you know, you look at these 4 teams, EL, TGZ, Forvali and PLA, no matter who wins the semi-finals, whoever ends up in that 3rd and 4th position is still going to be great teams. And yeah, I think either way, it's going to be obviously awesome for all of us watching at home.
Oh yeah, and let me just quickly pull up the donation page. So far we have got 600 at moment. So this is the donation page, and I would like to take some time to quickly thank all of our donors which have helped us raise $600 for this tournament. Thanks to Kazuya, or I think Kazuya or Nakakazu, who donated from AZ Clan. He has donated us, I think, 180 and 20. Then recently we got a $50 anonymous donation, and there is no comment about it, so we don't know who donated it. Then we've got 150 from Raul Henriquez, who I believe is LAT Blast. So thanks, Blast, for donating 150. It means a lot to us. We've got 100 from Cypher as well. And sadly, we couldn't see Cypher play in this tournament. I would have loved to see him there.
Yeah, no, I think Cypher definitely, you know, donating for a great cause here, and he's probably sitting back and watching from the comfort of his home. And Yeah, we really appreciate the support. It's obviously awesome for all the players involved and also everyone who's watching. Just to know that, aside from the glory, I'm sure everyone would play if there was no prize money, just because it's a lot of fun playing in these tournaments with such high competition. I mean, I spoke to Coin the other day, and Coin said to me in the chat, he said, "Hey, Cron, man, I'm so upset you organised this tournament." And I was like, "Coin, why is that? What's wrong? Are you okay?" He's like, "Man, after we played those tournament games, I just can't play normal games anymore. I feel like it's just not the same high level of what I want to play." And I was like, "Oh, like, I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, some of these guys that are playing these matches, it's such high level play that it's almost like we haven't seen Nomad games with stakes this high before." And I feel like most of the games so far, we could probably have a fair idea of, who was going to come out on top and what to kind of expect. But these semi-finals are going to be awesome. I honestly, people will probably have ideas about who they think might win in the long run, but I honestly think anyone could be in the final here.
Yeah, and these semifinals, I mean, these are going to be quite close up. So we had a lot of differences in skill levels in the preliminaries. So these matchups in the preliminaries was quite expected. We would know who might win. Then this skill gap became narrower in the quarterfinals, and this has become a really narrow in semifinals. And I don't know who's going to go to the grand final, but that's going to be the most unexpected game for me. I'll have zero idea who has an edge, and I would love to see both semifinals and finals there.
Yep, absolutely. And we have tried to ask, and we've obviously put the offer out there for anyone from PLA or from LAT who would like to join us for an interview. But from my end, I can't see that anyone's online. It looks like Mouse was in the chat earlier, but Mouse, being from China, perhaps is uncontactable at the moment, but also may not have Skype or may not have, English is probably not Mouse's first language either. So, in fairness to Mouse, if Mouse is out there, please message us in the next few 30 seconds or so if you can. But from your end, Jatin, do you know if anyone is out there wanting to talk to us?
I think Mouse is playing right now. I just messaged him, but I'm not expecting any answer though. I would have loved to ask anybody else, like TNO. TNO is American, so he would be probably willing to give us some details, or even Timeless, but none of these players are online. So I guess we'll have to just call it a victory for the second game, and it will be a suspense forever, and how PLA pulled through their victory against LAT1, but that's how we are going to live through it, man.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be the game that got away. We kind of saw it halfway there where we couldn't really see how it was going to play out, but we'll just have to take, Mouse's comment as the truth there. And I'll just look through his comment again quickly. So he said, this is basically how the game finished. He said, Linky and me kill in the sea, and Linky and Timeless kill that side. So basically, they must have used the citrus to win that battle. They secured the pond, they got all the fish, and then Linky and Timeless somehow managed to turn it around against Fireman. And Fireman was going crazy with that rating. He was going non-stop. But they must have figured out a way to somehow pull it back. And then Linky, being such a great player, probably was instrumental in that, I'm guessing, versus, Inca, who's, maybe a mid-level Inter player, I guess. You probably expect Linky's going to kill Inca there in the long run, and then who knows? Maybe they stopped Iroquois and went from there. But I guess we'll never know exactly how it played out. But thank you, Mouse, for giving us at least 2 sentences to figure out the rest of the game.
Oh yeah,
we appreciate it.
we really appreciate it. And yeah, I guess we can. Unless there's any questions from the viewers, I'm going to be online for 20 more minutes, and then we are going to end the stream. Tron, what do you say? Are you interested in a best of 3 in a team game?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd definitely be up for that.
All right, so let's do a single best of 3 after 20 minutes. And anybody who would like to challenge us, please meet us in the lobby. I'm going to create a game, and we'll.
Yeah, I think I could just see. I was going to say for a best of 3, yeah, anyone except for the players that have already challenged us, because I feel like we've already proven that we're too good for Boo and Serge. Just joking. And I can just see Boo said in the comments then, he said, call the semis, Kron. Jatin, stop sitting on the fence. And, okay, that was probably a British accent. I got to work on my Irish accent, sorry. But look, we're calling the semis here, Boo. The semis are uncallable. That's the call, because we've got 4 excellent teams from both sides. I know in your head you're probably thinking that EL have got the upper hand here, but I think TGZ can definitely pull it off. They've already showed that against AZ1, and I think at the same time PLA versus Lavali. It's gonna come down to how the players handle the nerves, how they can react to what nations they're given, to what res they're given, and how well they can work together as a team.
Yeah. So actually another reason for delaying the stream was that we could not have both the semi-final games today. So there was no point in having one of the games, just one more games, and having the other postponed. And also TGZ did not have their best lineup ready today, so it would be unfair for them if we had to finish it today.
Yeah, exactly. And just this is off topic, but happy St. Patrick's Day as well to any Irish out there. I'm sure there's lots of crazy Irish drinking lots of beers right now, all across the world. I believe it's today, or maybe it was yesterday, I'm not quite sure.
I believe it was St. Patrick's Day is today here, or was it?
Yeah,
or was it on Saturday?
I think it's the 17th of March, so I think it's today, depending on where in the world you are, or it might be tomorrow morning if you're in the States.
Oh yeah. All right, so I'll be off. I'll quickly get breakfast in 5 minutes, and we'll start our best of 3. Anybody who assembles in the game, we'll play you guys 2 versus 2 Nomad, and we'll be streaming that live as well. So
yep,
yeah,
sounds good.
Tuned. And yeah, get ready to get your ass kicked.
Yes. Exactly right. But thanks for tuning in to Nomadium. This will be the last game for this weekend. We'll come back next weekend with the semi-finals of L versus TGZ and PLA versus Full Bali. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be coming up soon, and yeah, next weekend is the games to watch out for. So mark it on your calendar, book it in, because it's coming to you soon. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys.